The resemblance is uncanny. It's almost as if...
As if Anna were a reincarnation.
That's it, sir. A reincarnation. After 2,500 years. That's it exactly.
That's one of the reasons why I'm so reluctant to let my Helen go.
But you can't refuse.
It goes without saying that the museum assumes full responsibility for its safety, sir.
I appreciate that, Mr. Foster.
Mr. Galani, this is going to be the greatest exhibition in the history of the museum. Early Hellenic treasures. All from private collections. And I know which piece will take the pride of place. Mrs. Galani.
Please, darling.
You make it very difficult for me.
It would give me so much pleasure. Say yes.
Anna, look.
And I would be so proud of you.
I've told you it's very dangerous to transport it.
Oh, sir, please reconsider.
Nicky, please.
Oh, very well, then. I yield to my wife. You may exhibit it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Morning, Bob.
If you say so. Oh. What's all this, then? I never knew you were so well paid.
Oh, it's just wishful thinking. I should probably end up in Brighton.
My favorite spa. Dear, you ought to take something for that, you know. Is he in?
Yeah, he's on the phone. Nicky Gulani, Athens.
Oh, we haven't heard from him for quite a while. I wonder what he wants.
He wants you to do a job for him.
Morning, Bob.
You should take something for that.
What's on, then?
Gulani wants Helen delivered to an aeroplane.
Who's Helen?
Helen of Troy. She's a bus.
Oh, well, let somebody else deliver her, then.
Look, she happens to be worth a great deal of money. Gulani's lending her to an American museum for an exhibition.
Oh, and I'm to escort her to London Airport, I suppose.
Did I say London?
Where then?
Venice.
Venice, and I've got to pay for my trip to Brighton.
Well, where's Helen now?
Mykonos.
Oh, this is too much.
Where's Mykonos?
Oh, it's a little Greek island. Gulani has a summer home there.
Well, how am I escorting Helen to Venice?
By ship. Cruise ship.
Does anybody mind if I cry?
Oh, well, why Venice?
I don't know. It's Gulani's idea.
Seems a funny way to go to America.
It does, but Gulani owns the bus.
Probably owns the Greek cruise ship, too.
He does, so what he says goes.
Still, it seems a bit odd. Not that I'm grumbling, mind you. When do I leave?
Tomorrow morning, you fly to Athens, join the ship there, then you cruise around the islands for a little... get to Mykonos.
Oh, that'll give me time to check on the other passengers.
Oh, Heather, fix those reservations, will you?
Yes,
2.
yes. But it's the last job I do for this company. I'm resigning.
Resigning?
Not before time.
Well, if you two think that I'm going to sit here minding that phone while you go cruising around the Mediterranean, you've got another thing coming.
Heather, I am not going. I only wish I were.
Oh. Well, you better give me the name of the other passenger, then.
Heather Keys.
Heather Key. Me?
Gulani wants you to go.
I don't believe you.
Yes, his wife specially asked you should join them.
Anna! That's marvellous! She's terribly nice. Do you remember that time when she came over and we all went to Hampton Court and
Yes,
got
I
lost
do,
in the
thank you,
May?
Heather, and we don't wish to be reminded of that little escapade.
Go on, fix those reservations. Perhaps on second thoughts, I better do it. You push off before you give me that cold.
Boutique on my bonus.
Mykonos, darling.
Yes, but apparently she has these absolutely fab things.
Yes, well, we'll take a look when we get there.
You darling, you're an angel. When do we reach,
Mykonos, madam.
Mykonos, yes.
In 2 hours' time.
Thank you.
We'll have the usual, please.
And another lager for me.
Yes, sir.
This is your first visit to the island.
Yes, it is.
I know you'll find them enchanting.
You've been there before, then?
Yes, many years ago. Samos. It was a quiet little island then.
There are no tourists these days, sir, but little else has changed.
It's an ideal place for a honeymoon.
Oh, we're not married. The phrase is just good friends.
I did not mean to pry.
I volunteered the information. I'm Shan Davis.
Max Schroeder.
Hi.
John Gibbon.
How do you do?
You know Samos well, Herr Schroeder?
I've been there.
Samos is an island.
A very famous one, madam.
A little sun, a little culture.
Oh, it's you.
What more could a girl ask for?
Adonis.
I'll keep my eyes open for him.
Don't need any help from you, thanks very much.
Yes, then.
Delos is very close to Mykonos. We ought to go there.
Why?
Well, it was Apollo's birthplace and a centre of religious life.
Really?
That's what it says there. Look, there he is.
There who is?
Adonis.
His name's John Gibbon.
Really? Wonder if he's travelling alone.
Been a long time, darling.
I had to take my shirt off. I'm going in the deep
You
end.
can't swim, darling.
Her name's Shan Davis. Says she's a model.
You have been working.
Non-stop since Athens. Passenger list, crew the lot.
Anything to arouse your interest?
Nothing at all. I think we're in for a nice, quiet cruise. Oh.
1,200 drachmas, Herr Schroeder.
Thank you. I understand that Mr. Gulani himself is joining the ship.
Yes, sir. Coming aboard today and traveling with us to Venice.
Very interesting.
You know him, sir?
Oh, slightly. A piece of acquaintance he wouldn't remember. Still, it should guarantee us all a most interesting cruise.
Yes, sir.
Recognize him? Schroeder? That's not his name. Schmidt Kleber.
You said
I'll never forget that face.
it was a long time ago.
Him? No, it is.
What's he doing here?
Making a sentimental journey? It'll be a trip he never forgets.
Poor Gulani. Poor old Nicky.
Nobody'll ever believe me.
What?
When we were on Mykonos this afternoon, I picked up a piece of pottery that had lain in the dust for 2,000 years.
Half the things in my out tray at the office have been there as long as that. When are you going to pick them up?
Oh, don't be rotten.
He's still missing Brighton?
Desperately.
Mr. Shoesmith,
Yes.
Mr. Gulani's compliments. Will you and Miss Keyes please to join him in his cabin?
Of course.
Something's on, darling. Just you wait here at the table. I shan't be long. Excuse me.
Where's the bust?
In there, sir. The key is in my safe.
Good.
Come in.
Mr. Shoesmith or Miss Keyes, sir?
I'm delighted to have you on board, Miss Keyes.
Thank you very much indeed.
How good to see you again.
Hello, sir.
You remember Anna?
Yes, of course. How are you?
Lovely to see you again.
Hello.
And this is Mel Fortson from the museum in New York.
Oh, how do you
How do
do?
you do? You must be a remarkable man, Mr. Shoesmith.
Why ever do you say that?
When Nicky finally agreed to let Helen go to the States, he insisted that either you or Mr. Soot escort her to Venice. No other company would do.
We're most flattered.
So you should be. Let me get you a drink.
Thank you.
Oh, Alex, have a drink with us. Thank you.
Is it your first visit to Greece?
Yes, it is, but not my last, I hope.
So you're taking the bust on to New York, Mr. Fortson?
No, Bob, you take over now. I was just supposed to try and persuade Mr. Glanny to let us exhibit the bust.
Supposed you succeeded.
I wouldn't have if Mrs. Glanny hadn't helped me out.
You were reluctant, sir.
A little.
May I see the bust?
Well,
Since I'm responsible for her safety, sir, I'd like to check everything for myself.
of course I understand, but... Alex, will you get me the key to cabin 9, please?
Very good, sir.
£10 sterling, 835 drachma. Thank you, sir.
The key to cabin 9. It's in the safe.
Oh, vodka and tonic with ice, please. It's in the bag, darling. It's in the bag. Cabin number 9.
How do you know, Gibby?
Because they keep the key to the cabin locked in the purser's safe.
It doesn't mean a thing.
It means there's something very valuable in cabin 9. Take my word for it, darling.
So Helen is traveling alone.
Got it in one.
Poor darling.
Oh, but she's magnificent, sir. May I ask you what the market value is? Well, whatever anyone would be prepared to pay. It's insured for £200,000. It's not for sale. For obvious reasons. It's been in the family for 3 centuries, and my wife adores it.
It could almost be off her.
Yes. It's my Anna 2,400 years ago.
Hard to believe. It's just pure coincidence.
Well, I wasn't searching for a 20th century Helen, if that's what you mean. As a matter of fact, I met my wife during the war, when she still was a child.
Do I sense a story?
A dull one, Mel?
But a happy ending, sir.
Very happy, thank you. Well, shall we go?
Yes. Well, thank you very much indeed for showing it to me. I wouldn't have missed it for worlds. May I suggest that goes into the purser's safe with the cabin key?
You take every precaution.
That's what you hired me to do, isn't it? Thank you. Is this the only one?
On board, yes.
Good.
Well, let's go to the lounge. I buy you a drink. Oh, Anna and Heather must still be gossiping. I'll fetch them. You go on.
Right. I'll see these into the purser's safe.
Good.
Lovely. And does she make it all herself?
Every bit. People come from all over the world to shop. Hello, darling.
We're just going to have a drink. Join us?
Love to. Thank you.
Come on, then.
Good evening, Mr. Gulani.
Good evening.
May I talk to you for a minute?
If you ladies would care to go on, I'll join you later.
Is everything all right?
Yes, of course. Don't worry. Just go.
Shall we go? Yes.
Your wife?
Yes.
The face is familiar, but then it should be.
We can talk in my cabin. Now, what do you want?
Money, of course.
So Herr Schmidt-Kleber is a blackmailer now.
The name is Schröder.
Very well, Herr Schröder. How much?
1 million drachma.
You must be mad.
Oh, no. You forget, it's thanks to me you have your beautiful wife. So shall we discuss matters like gentlemen? And by the way, how's Helen?
Well, this is what I call all right.
It's all wrong.
What?
This is the whole thing.
Oh, sure. She shouldn't be here. I'm serious. And why did Gulani hire me?
Well, he trusts you.
Plenty of other trustworthy people in the world. There must be half a dozen security agencies in Athens, and yet he has to go all the way to London for one.
Well, I'm jolly glad he did. It's done wonders for my cold.
This man Schroeder worries me. I'd like to know more about him.
I think Gulani knows something about him. You ought to have seen his expression when they met.
Indeed, Anna doesn't know Schroeder.
I know, she said she'd never seen him before.
Was she telling the truth?
Well, yes, I think so.
Suppose he could be a business acquaintance?
Oh, some business.
No. Gulani's a reputable man.
Well, then talk to him. I mean, if you think there's any danger to the statue, you should.
Maybe I've just got a guilty conscience. I'm trying to justify all this.
Oh, who needs justification? So long as the purse has got the key, Helen's safe.
Could this necklace go in the safe, please?
In the safe, madam?
They're very valuable diamonds.
Certainly, madam.
Thank you.
Your receipt, madam?
Thank you.
Sure.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, darling?
Perfectly simple combination, my sweet. No problem at all.
You see that couple that just went up on deck?
Yeah.
She's being taken for a ride.
Oh, what do you mean?
Would I put her diamond necklace in the safe? It's valuable.
Imitation? Taste.
Shut your eyes, darling. Now look.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's for you.
But what's the occasion?
Must I have an occasion to buy you a present? I saw it, I liked it, and I bought it.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Oh, what's the matter?
Nicky, who is that man?
Who?
That man last night.
No one of importance. I did business with him several years ago. His name is Schrader.
You were afraid of him?
When we met, no, just surprised.
Afraid, Nicky? I've never seen that happen to you before.
No, but then every man is afraid of someone.
Not you, Nicky. Why do you do business with him?
Now, don't worry your little head about it. I didn't. He put a proposition to me, and I turned it down.
You're a poor liar. If you are in trouble, won't you tell me?
There's nothing to tell.
Oh, Nick, I want your confidence more than anything.
You have my confidence. Schrader is in the past, so why to drag him up now?
Ask him to leave the ship at Athens.
I can't do that.
Why not? You on the line, give him back his money and put him ashore at Athens.
No.
There are other cruise ships.
No.
What hold does he over you?
None. Anna, look, he's leaving the ship at Brindisi. Can't you tolerate
When did you buy this for me?
Yesterday.
Why?
I've told you.
Have you?
Look out!
Yes, sir. But kill me.
Yes, sir. I realize that. I'm sorry.
I shall report your clumsiness to the purser.
As I said before, sir, I'm very sorry.
I might have been killed.
Yes, sir, but it is a dangerous place to stand.
I insist that action be taken.
I shall certainly tell the steward to be more careful in future, sir.
Disciplinary action.
I'm afraid there's not much we can do about it, sir. It was an accident. Elio, you have apologized.
Yes. You will hear more of this.
You heard what I said?
About being more careful? Yes.
Very well. Go back to your work.
What happened?
A slight accident, sir. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Who is Schroeder? Well?
A tourist, sir.
Tourist. He knows Mr. Gulani.
Does he, sir? That could be serious for the steward.
It could indeed.
Everything in order, sir?
Yes, the bust is still in its place. Do you know you can see the combination from here?
Yes, sir. But the office door is always locked, even when we're in there.
Hmm.
You saw it? What happened? I think that the steward deliberately tried to tip Schroeder over the side. I'm sure of it. It happened just over the...
The person knows something about Schroeder, although he pretended he didn't. I'm going to have this out with the Gulani.
I think he's along there in the lounge with Anna.
Good, you come along and take her off our hands for a minute. Hmm?
Oh, hello.
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 Enjoy yourself.
It's
Very much indeed.
Won't you join us?
Well, I wondered if I could have a word with you, sir.
Certainly, Bob. What about?
If they're going to talk business, shall we leave them to it?
All right.
Sit down.
Thank you.
Well?
It's about that man Schroeder, sir.
What about him?
Who is he?
I don't see what that has to do with your job.
Well, one or two things have happened that have made me curious.
Well, he is a man I did business with several years ago.
There's more to it than that, isn't there, sir?
What do you mean?
At least one member of your crew dislikes him even more than you do.
There are quite a few people around here who have every reason to hate Herr Schroeder, Bob.
You mean it goes back to the war?
Can I get you a drink, Mr. Gulani?
Bob?
No, thank you, not.
Oh, thank you.
Do you think we could go out on deck?
Oh, yes, certainly.
Thank you.
The view is very beautiful, too. It's much greener than the island of the Aegean.
Sounds lovely.
It won't be long, darling.
But it's got much more rain.
In 1943, Schroeder's name was Schmidt Kleber. He was a Gestapo officer, was responsible for order and law on these islands.
You said you did some sort of business with him. What was it exactly?
Yes, there was a transaction between us. It took place on the island of Samos, but nobody knows about it.
May I recommend, sir, that you put him ashore as quickly as possible?
The war's over. He's a tourist.
He was nearly killed today, sir. It may not have been an accident.
Who was responsible?
The steward in the lounge.
Earlier. I shall talk to him. Not that I blame the man.
I would respectfully suggest, sir, that you put him ashore as soon as we reach Athens.
He has every right to be on board this ship.
Yes, that's very fair of you, sir, but it could be dangerous.
Oh, it's not only fair. It's cowardly. As I've told you, he's got something on me.
I see.
I hope you won't tell anyone.
No, of course not, sir. And thank you for telling me.
So, you're responsible for delivering the statue to the museum, Mr. Fulton?
No, not me. My job's over.
Mel, you're being too modest.
No, I'm not, really. See that fellow over there with Mr. Gulani?
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who's holding the baby now.
Some baby, huh?
Yeah. Hello. Nearly $1 million worth.
What's his name?
Shoesmith. Bob Shoesmith.
Shoesmith and Suter.
You've heard of him?
About the best in the business.
You know the security game?
Well, vaguely, from the insurance side. This should be interesting.
Mr. Gulani?
Yes?
I intend to sue your company for negligence.
I've heard about the incident. I'm extremely sorry.
I shall want more than an apology.
Well, I realize you have right to some compensation. I'm sure we can come to some agreement.
Can we?
Perhaps we could discuss it later.
When?
After we've sailed from Athens. Well, Mr. Schroeder?
All right.
Why don't you get rid of him in Athens?
Let me do this my own way.
Come in.
You're back. I was worried about you. You were a long time ashore.
Yes, I had a marvelous time, but I'm absolutely exhausted. Oh!
Yes, you left it in the door.
Oh, yes.
Well, and how was Athens?
Oh,
What's that supposed to mean?
fabulous. And my feet are killing me. I must have walked absolutely miles. Must show you what I bought.
Oh, what's that?
Look. There. It's a perfume amphora, and it's over 2,000 years old. Isn't it beautiful?
Very pretty, yes. I must say, I'd rather keep my eye on that than that blasted bust.
Did anybody else stay on board besides you?
Schroeder, no doubt waiting for his money.
I wonder how much compensation he'll get.
I wonder if it's compensation.
What do you mean?
He has something on Golani. The threats of suing might be veiled hints of blackmail.
1 million drachma, and I made it out to Wilhelm Schroeder. I hope you'll feel adequately compensated.
I think so, on both counts.
And will remain silent.
I will.
Then I bid you good day and a pleasant journey to Brindisi.
You know, Nicky, I would willingly have left the boat at Athens if you'd given me the money there.
You paid your fare to Brindisi.
Huh.
Congratulations.
Beg your pardon?
You handled it magnificently. I've always admired a fellow artist. Now it's my turn.
I don't understand what you mean, Mr. Gibbon.
Oh, come now, Schroeder. It's as old as the hills, but still very effective, and you played it beautifully.
Will you explain yourself, please?
Well, that steward didn't trip you. You tripped him, and then put on the act of almost going over the side. It's very ingenious. I think perhaps we can come to some little understanding about this, don't you?
Indeed. Well, for your information, Mr. Gibbon, let me tell you that Stuart did try to kill me. And I don't know what you are talking about, excuse me.
Where is everyone? On deck, waiting to see the canal. Uzu, please.
That was a stupid thing you tried this morning?
It failed. That was the stupid part.
Well, the war ended a long time ago.
My memory's longer.
You must have cost the old man a lot of money.
How much?
I don't know, but Schroeder seems happy enough.
Schmidt Kleber.
Call him what you like, but don't try that nonsense again. Or if you must, don't fail. Thanks for the drink.
Thanks for the advice.
Nicky,
Yeah?
you can't go on like this.
What do you mean?
Why have you paid Schroeder so much money?
To keep him out of court. Can you imagine the damage he could have done to this line if he stood up in court? I can't afford it.
How much did you afford?
50,000 drachma.
You are lying. I know exactly how much you paid him. You were careless, Nick. I saw your checkbook. 1 million drachma. And it wasn't company money, it was a personal check. Now, I want the truth, Nick.
Please be patient
I
until
want
we...
the truth now.
I can't tell you.
Morning. Morning.
Morning.
How's your charge?
Oh, the statue. She's still in the cabin. Which is more than can be said for Herr Schroeder.
Why, what's happened?
He's vanished.
What?
Into thin air. Or else over there.
You're not serious.
Indeed I am.
I can't believe it. When did it happen?
Sometime last night. He's definitely not on the ship. There's to be an investigation, and the Italian police are coming on board at Brindisi.
It would be very difficult to prove anything. I mean, if there's no body.
But some dirty linen is bound to be aired.
Oh, you mean Gulani's business with him during the war?
Exactly.
But I can't believe that Gulani was ever a collaborator, can you?
Well, there was definitely some sort of deal between them. He admitted that much to me.
Where was it?
It took place on the island of Samos, I think he said.
Oh, now that's where Anna was born.
Oh, I doubt if it involved her. She can only have been a child at the time.
But you don't seriously think that Gulani killed Schroeder,
No,
do you?
no.
Well, then do you think the steward did it?
After yesterday, he's a reckless man if he did.
I swear to you, Mr. Gulani, I had nothing to do with it.
You tried to push Schroeder overboard yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Why?
I had two brothers. On his orders, they were shot. I swore I would revenge them.
But you didn't kill him last night.
No, I didn't.
You know someone saw your attempt yesterday.
Well, I have heard someone, a woman.
If the authorities question her, it will go badly for him, sir.
I know the passenger concerned. I shall talk to her and see what can be done.
Thank you, sir.
You're not to talk about this to anyone, understand?
Yes.
You may go. I want this matter kept as quiet as possible.
Yes, sir.
The only real problem, darling, is getting the purser out of the office.
Don't worry about it, Gibby. I'll do it.
After that, it should be plain sailing. I'll need about a minute to get the keys out of the purser's safe, then down to cabin 9, grab the statue and dump it over the side.
Don't forget to put it in the flotation bag first.
Don't worry, I won't.
Are you sure the bag will keep it afloat long enough for our boat to pick up the signal?
Of course it will. I keep telling you. The transmitter on the flotation pack has a range of about 50 miles. Our boat will be within that range. Shouldn't take her more than a couple of hours to reach the spot.
Sounds almost too easy, my love.
Yes. I'd like to see Shoesmith out of the way first, though. He's too darn conscientious.
Frankly, Miss Keys, I'd rather say nothing. That man is innocent.
Have you proof of that, sir?
No, but I take his word on it.
In spite of the fact that he tried to kill Schroeder yesterday.
Yes.
Well, if the steward didn't kill him, who did?
It might have been an accident.
From the little I know of Schroeder, I very much doubt that, sir.
Do you suspect me?
I'm not investigating the disappearance of Mr. Schroeder.
Answer my question, please.
Well, he was blackmailing you, wasn't he?
And this is you're going to tell the police?
If they ask me, I shall have to, sir.
And you, Miss Keys? What are you going to say about Elia?
Well, I don't know. I suppose I shall have to tell them what I saw. Dear. You said Schroeder had blackmailed him. How did you know that?
Well, I wasn't sure, but I am now. Oh, dear. We seem to have got ourselves into a very ugly situation.
Biting the hand that feeds us. Milk?
Oh, black is fine, thank you. I really came to find out if the rumor is true.
What rumor's that? Sugar?
Oh, 2, please. That one of the passengers, a man named Schroeder, has disappeared.
What?
Well, last night, apparently. Have you heard about it, Mr. Gulani?
Is it true?
Yes.
Nicky, why didn't you tell me?
You don't think I had anything to do with it?
I don't know, Nicky. I don't know it any longer.
Don't blast off without your air supply, Mr. Gibbon.
Don't worry, I won't. It's very good.
If only he knew.
When is blast off, Gibby?
Oh, well, let Shoesmith check cabin 9 again first, and we'll move in.
What about the boat?
Well, she should be on station now, following us.
I can't see Shoesmith anywhere.
Relax, darling. He's out on deck with Giuliani's wife.
Very attractive. Quite unexpected. You know, I rather thought you might come as Helen.
Oh, no.
No, a bit too obvious, hmm? Tell me, how long has your husband had the statue?
Oh, ever since I've known him.
And when did you meet?
During the war.
On Samos?
Yes. My parents were his friends. When they were killed, he got me off the island.
That must have been quite difficult, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was. You needed a permit to travel in those days, and they were unobtainable.
But he managed to get one.
Oh, yes.
I wonder how.
I don't know. I can't remember anything. I was very ill. The death of my parents were a terrible shock. Nicky looked after me, and I married him when I was 18.
He's a fine man, Mrs. Giuliani.
Yes, I always thought so.
Do you know where he is now?
In the cabin. He has a bad headache.
Ah. Oh, hello. Well, no snakes in your hair.
Charmer.
Oh, ouch. Well, if you'll excuse me, my dear, I'm going to check up on another piece of ancient Greece.
You look lovely. Well, it's a sheet and a lampshade. Very good.
I'm sorry.
Well, you look smashing, Mr. Fordson.
I think the folks back home will get a charge out of it, Bob. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Yes. Zero hour coming up nicely.
How about taking on some liquid fuel then, darling?
Why not?
Yes, sir?
What'll it be?
Champagne, of course.
The bottle, yes.
Come in. Yes, Bob?
I've changed my mind about something, sir.
About what?
If the police ask me about your association with Schroeder, I shall have nothing to say. Nor will Heather have anything to say about the barman.
Why are you doing this?
I know about your transaction back in 1943. Your wife just told me how you met.
I see. Well, would you like a drink?
Yes, I should like one very much. More champagne, sir?
No, thank you. I don't understand what's keeping Shoesmith. He ought to be back by now.
Here he is.
We'll sit tight for a moment. Now, sweetie, give me 1 minute.
Good evening, madam.
Hi. There's a bit of a roll tonight. Anyone for a dip?
No!
I'm
No, madam, no, no!
Oh! Landed. I'm fastening the lap straps. Now you're what I call strong.
You could have gone over the side, madam.
You saved my life. I must give you a kiss.
Well,
oh,
no, madam.
come on,
we
don't
are-
be shy. Don't be shy.
What the devil?
Could you take care of the young lady, sir? She almost went overboard.
Oh, really?
Get the keys?
They went there. Shoesmith must still have them.
What?
Steward.
Sir.
Do you know Mr. Shoesmith?
Yes, sir.
Would you go and ask him to meet Mr. Fortson here at once? Tell him it's very important.
Certainly, sir.
Thank you. Look, go down to our cabin, get the flotation pack, and bring it to me in cabin 9.
Look, Gibby, let's forget it.
Forget £250,000 You must be joking.
Why not? We haven't committed a crime yet.
Much we haven't.
What do you mean? What have you done?
Just do as I say.
Gibby?
I killed Schroeder.
What?
I killed Schroeder. I had to. You saw how he conned Gilani. Well, I was indiscreet. I underestimated him. The second that statue was missing, he'd have known it was us.
You killed him. You killed it!
Down in the cabin and do as you're told.
Love to come back someday.
You must. Stay with Nick and me. We'd love to have you.
You're very kind.
May I join you, ladies?
Please do. What have you done with Bob?
I beg your pardon?
Well, what did you want to see him for?
I didn't want to see him.
But there was a message from Mr. Gibbon, I think the steward said, that you wanted to see Bob on the promenade deck.
Well, I never sent him any message.
You didn't? Well, then quickly, excuse me.
Gulani's in there.
Is he all right?
I don't know. He's still breathing.
What'll we do?
Look, you better go down to the cabin and see that the statue's all right.
Yeah.
Well, quickly!
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming around.
Yes.
Oh, I'll get you some brandy.
Oh.
Bob, what happened?
Somebody... I don't know. Somebody hit me or something.
Well, who?
It must have been Fortson. He sent for me.
No, it can't have been Fortson. He was with me all the time. But it was Gibbon who sent you that message.
Gibbon?
Yes.
Quickly.
Hello again.
Hi.
Mr. Galani!
Is the young lady all right now, sir?
Blasting off now, sir? What? Have you got your air supply?
Oh, yes.
Shall we dance?
Oh, delighted.
Get about him! Get away! Back!
Gone!
You fools! You stupid fools!
Gibby, I thought I'd never... What's happened?
I didn't have time to inflate the pack. It's gone. The object of the exercise. Straight to the bottom.
I think you two have got some explaining to do. Heather, fetch the purser, quickly.
Look, Gibby, I'm sorry, but this is where I sign off. You can count me out from now on.
Oh, no, we're in this together, remember?
Teaching a statue is one thing. Murder is quite another.
Murder? You blasted little idiot! So you killed Schroeder.
You'll never prove it.
All right, purser, take them away. The police can deal with them at Brindisi.
Here, Mr. Galani, have some of this.
Yes, thank you.
Nick, what happened? Are you all right?
Yes, I am. But the statue... Gibbon must have taken it.
Gibbon?
Yes.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure Bob knows about it. In any case, they can't get it off the boat.
Oh, this is terrible. Just a minute ago, I bumped into him, and he had the statue in his hands right under my nose.
And you didn't see it?
Come to think of it, I didn't.
Come in. Bob, have you seen Gibbon?
Yes, sir, I have. I'm afraid I've got some very bad news for you.
What?
Well, we've got Gibbon, sir, but I'm afraid the statue is lost.
Lost?
Yes, sir. It fell overboard in the struggle with Gibbon. It has sunk.
Sunk?
What is it?
This is very funny.
What's funny about it, Mr. Galani?
Gibbon has done it for me. After all this time, he's done it for me.
Done what, sir?
You said he dropped it overboard.
Yes, I did. Yes, but I didn't.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
You why?
I think he's upset, Mr. Shoesmith.
No, I'm sorry. I must explain. Darling, I've been trying to keep this from you for a very long time, but now you must know. Helen was a copy, a fake.
A fake? But I don't understand.
Well, the original was the price I paid Schroeder for your freedom during the war.
So that was the transaction.
Exactly. I'm truly sorry. Can you ever forgive me? I had the copy made only because I knew how much you loved it.
I think we're both upset, Mr. Shoesmith.
But, darling, I'm sorry.
You don't need to be sorry. You thought I loved it, but you were wrong. I began to hate it. It stood between us. A kind of perfection I could never match. I'm glad it's gone.
Glad?
I really hated it.
Well, Mr. Galani, it's just as well it did go overboard. If the museum had found out it was a fake, I might have lost my job.
Not to mention my reputation as an honest man. Now you can understand why I was so reluctant to exhibit it.
And what about my reputation as a security agent?
Oh, come now, Bob. Your reputation is as secure as ever.
Well, it's good to have you back again. It's getting lonely without you.
I suppose I ought to say it's good to be back, but really, when I...
It shall never be the same again, you know. Luxury living in the Mediterranean has ruined it for good.
Oh, it was so marvellous, Ian. Do you remember that lovely place on the...
Oh.
That's a very nasty cold you've got.
You should know it's yours.
Oh, dear. Look, perhaps I'd better take over the typing.
If you haven't lost your touch, it might be a good idea. Bob, it seems to me Galani's taking us for a bit of a ride, you know. Why should he hire us to take care of those statues? He's going to chuck it overboard anyway.
Yes, well, the terms of the insurance policy insisted that if ever the statue was moved, a security guard had to travel with it.
Yeah, I know, but apparently the policy had lapsed.
Galani's a strange man. He was obsessed with the idea that his wife, Anna, would be heartbroken if anything happened to the statue. And as she knew about the policy, he had to hire a security guard just to make the whole thing look convincing.
Well, we had some pretty rum jobs in our time.
What are you grumbling about? The fee's the same.
I can't tell you how I felt when that statue went over the side.
I wonder where the genuine one is.
Oh, South America, probably, in a private collection.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, it's a perfume amphora, and it's over 2,000 years old.
Really? How do you know?
The man who made it told me.
Oh, no.